Yeah.
Let's see, set up here. I was gonna go inside, or I was gonna go into the little space back there, but there's a ton of people sitting on the patio.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I'm not gonna do that. Cool. So close that out. Bam.
There we are. Ugh.
So okay, cool. You can't even tell I'm in a parking lot.
Right. That's a good
Man.
thing about that background.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously. I'm really thinking if I should.
Man, I'd throw some up on mine, but I mean, it you know, look kind of weird. It wouldn't focus in on my face as close.
Yeah, no, I get that, man. I get that. Yeah, man. So last week we did what, 8 through 12.
I think we got to 13. Yeah, I think we hit. I think we jumped off on 13 or something like that. Yeah, because we went over just a little bit longer than what we normally would. But I mean, that's all fine and dandy, man. And yeah, I got to the house finally, or when I got back home, and dude, my mom or my Wi-Fi, boy, it uploaded quick on Dropbox on the uh, Google Drive, man. It loaded up fast.
Did it?
It was having a long time. It was having trouble off my phone off my mom's website or off my mom's Wi-Fi anyway.
Yeah.
So, but
I
Hey,
love
there we
that.
go. What's
Hey,
up, Andrew?
what's going
Mr.
on?
Hughes is in the house.
how you guys doing?
Man,
Fantastic, man.
driving in some dirty 30 traffic.
Oh, that sucks.
Heading home though. That's a bonus plus.
13,
Oh man.
14.
Yeah, man. It's probably
Yeah.
gonna have or probably have Josh Albert or Alvery on here as well.
Sweet.
Yeah, hopefully he'll join in and stuff. I messaged him, let him or reminded him about it and everything, or let him know about it, and I sent him the Zoom link as well. So, but uh,
Yeah, I think we are on 13. I remember we were at 12.
yeah. Then we started into 13 and finished it, and I think we're on 14 now. Yeah, Genesis 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I mean, boy, Mr. Andrew, you look pretty good on that cover of that Mentoring Men, brother.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to be a part of it.
I've joined in with joined in on the group situation with that. I got in, me and like I said, me and Josh Alvery are uh collaborate back and forth, doing the 28 weeks, and then see where things go from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, yeah, we got all our guys out there at Redemption Ranch right now on the bolt encounter.
Oh, there's a bold going on. Cool.
Yes, sir, there
That's
is.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
that one
Some of the
start
guys.
yesterday or today?
It started today. It started today. Yeah, it started today. And it's a 24-hour one. So yeah, but yeah, my buddy James Miller is out there, and I know Mr. Bill Wells is out there as well.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
you know, a friend of mine, Chris Miller, is out there as well too, and Sean, one of the guys that helps with the parking lot, he's out there. And the guy with that drives a golf cart has a goatee looking deal all braided up. He's out there as well.
Sweet.
What's up, gentlemen?
So, what's up, man? There's Mr. Dale. Man, didn't I just see you last night? Man, good
Yeah,
grief.
2 nights in a row is pushing me
I
overboard.
know, man. It is just a little bit.
Hello, Andrew. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Dale. I don't know if we've met.
No, sir. I don't think so.
He's a quester with me.
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Did you do
Andrew-
Quest?
Yes, sir.
Andrew went to Quest Equipment. Yep.
Okay. Did you go with this last one with Josh and stuff?
No, I went. How many months ago was it? I think it was 2
he
months
went.
ago.
Yeah, he went to the one before Josh and everything. So, yeah.
What y'all do with Joshua? Do you
He
run away?
he decided to just run away and hide.
Yeah, I'd sign on and he gets off. That's rude.
Probably had a phone call for a minute, or
Why are you
moving
driving?
locations.
Are you just getting off work?
Yeah, I just got off work about 45 minutes ago. So, yeah, long day today.
Well, something's
Oh,
wrong.
shit.
You're not eating.
But I know, right? My wife and them already ate at the house, or they had Chick-fil-A. I'm like, well, thanks. It's like, so what's for supper? She's like, oh, we already ate. We had Chick-fil-A. He's like, oh, lovely.
Your own.
Didn't even ask you if you wanted anything, huh?
I know, right, man?
Women.
Yeah. But now I was telling Mr. Andrew there, he's looking, he was looking good on that cover of that book right there.
So you're the one on the cover, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That
Yeah,
does
him and
not.
Seth.
Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
him and
actually was
Seth.
reading that before I got on.
Ah,
Earl did a real great job with it.
Yeah, I
yeah.
told him he had to work on the cover, but other than that, he did good.
Yeah.
What's up, Joshua?
What's up, brother?
One thing I do not see in that picture is there's no chainsaw in the background,
Well, we actually had we had our quest swords in the back beside us, but they were out of frame, so he couldn't put them in. So.
Oh man. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, where iron sharpens iron, another man sharpens another.
They do.
How's everybody's week been?
Been good so far. Like I said, I was telling Joshua and them that I had like 14 stops thrown on me today, so that's why I was, running behind today. I had to get gas, of course, this morning, and it's like, man, felt like I was running late at work this morning, loading up the truck, and got off the dock by at least by 7:30. Tried to, or almost 8. But, yeah, it was a hectic day today. 14 stops, 2 bulk stops though.
Heck, what did I just do? There you go. One of these days I'll learn how to work my computer.
Right.
Oh, Joshua, what's going on? How was your week?
What's going on, bro? Here, I'm trying to connect my damn headset. I had to leave the house today, and I'm over here at the Starbucks. There we go.
Yeah, get you some wake up juice. He's struggling.
Yeah.
Still got to figure out how y'all do those little avatars in the back.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. No, yeah, man, everything's been good, man. I say good in the sense of I'm alive.
But realistically, man, I mean, it's been a rough week, man. I feel like I've been finding myself not like I still seek the Lord, but I feel like this week has probably been a harder week for me.
Yeah.
Like just trying to like really stay in the Word and like seeking Him the moment I get up. Whereas like this past week, like I said, man, I'm like waking up and like thinking of so many other things to do, and then I kind of like catch myself, and I'm like, okay, cool, right? But even when I have the spare time, I'm not really finding myself getting into the Word or um, kind of like those habits that I've been trying to build since Quest. It's been a little hard, like on the spiritual side of things. I don't feel like it's been a lot of spiritual warfare. I just feel, well, it could be, but I just feel like I'm really distracted right now. My attention's like in 7 different places. So that's definitely been a little bit harder for me for sure.
Well, and man, I started doing the going back over the Book of James and stuff. With or been doing it on the Bible app and everything. They had a plan on there, and it, like 12 days of it, and man, and it's got who is it in there? Dang it, I mentioned or knew who I was talking about. Wound up slipping. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to pull it up here. It is with Francis Chan, and man, that thing has been awesome. He does a pretty much a video, on it and everything too. So it's been pretty good. I can't complain. He breaks it down literally in all 5 chapters in 12 days, and I mean, just the way he's breaking it down is almost like our 30-day prep we had, but I he broke it down in 12 days instead of 30, and I didn't realize you could do the Book of James in 30 days, just breaking it down each day devotional situation like we did with Quest. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I still listen to, I like to listen to Psalms when I go to sleep. I still do that. Um, I'm just not feeling myself like seeking His presence as much this past week. I feel like it's kind of been like, I kind of get caught up like, oh, like we got to wake up and send this email or get with this client or whatever. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I haven't got time to pray, and then like, it's just, life after Quest, that first 2 weeks is like easy. In the third week, I'm like, okay, this is getting a little bit harder to maintain everything. And then that like, these past like 2 weeks, I'm like, how do I keep everything and adhere to a schedule when it's like, okay, I have the missus and she's on her own schedule and the kids are on a schedule, and you know what I mean? So it's like there's so many different schedules going on where like I was telling Casey that today, where I'm like, I let everybody know, like, hey, I'm coming home. I got home by like 5:40. I was like, all right, I want to sit down, start preparing for the Bible study around 6:10. But then like everyone else is kind of dragging their feet, and then it's like 6:25. Everyone's like, oh, well, now the kid's got to go down for a nap, and you know what I mean? So I'm like, I quickly like grabbed all my stuff and like shot to the Starbucks. So I'm like, okay, well, I need somewhere peaceful to be. So it's just been one of those things, man, where like I feel like it's like those minor inconveniences. And every time I feel like I'm like, okay, like, because for me, I like to set my mind before we jump into this. So I'll pray, or you know what I mean? Like I just try to spend some quiet time with myself before we jump into this, because I don't want to like jump from like task to task to task and then just treat this as another task. I really want this to be a divine encounter for all of us, right? In our own way. So, but we're here, man. We're here, and
I mean, and I think we did it right last Friday and stuff. Maybe starting it off reading that prayer and stuff that you sent out, that little packet, that little commissioned by Christ deal. I think the prayer on there, like I said, if we open with that or try to do that every Zoom call, man, bring in the change of atmosphere on it.
Yeah.
And welcome the Holy Spirit and everything too in it. I think we did pretty good last week on that.
Well, man, what's funny is on the drive home, I pulled over, went to the store, and I've been listening to audio tape that Derek Prince. He's pretty phenomenal in his spirit warfare and all that. And man, he said something which we all know, but it was kind of appropriate for today. Is it's like you were saying, you're weak, and the devil's beginning process is he wants to create self-condemnation where he makes you start feeling guilty about everything and not feeling that you did enough this week. And that was one thing, like they told you, Casey, at Quest, was we feel like we have to keep loading ourselves with tons of stuff and working and working. But just keep that in mind, man. It's just something that hit me when you were saying that just because you have a week where you're kind of busy and you're setting a routine, don't let that self-condemnation beat. What they were telling us, don't beat yourself up constantly. And the whole thing is about obedience and constantly focusing and improving. It's just, you'll figure it out, man. You figure out when you're going to have a routine, and when's you just sit down and figure out when you can concentrate the most. I used to have to get up an hour before. It was a 10-minute drive to work, but I got up. It took me 10 minutes to get ready, and I would get up an hour before I had to be at work, or an hour and a half, just to go sit in the prayer closet. And
wow,
you just have to force yourself sometimes to do it, but hard. But then you have your off weeks, man. But at the end of the day, it's the constant pattern going forth. Discipline. You know how that is, muscle man. Discipline.
Man, I think like the biggest thing that I've been fearing the most is like losing that relationship that I had with the Lord during Quest, and like that return back home. And it's kind of like, right, like like, for example, if you're married or you have a girlfriend, right? If you don't spend, let's just say, a week with your girlfriend or your wife, things are a little bit off, right? Now, granted, like Jesus is not, a normal human being, right? Like he is God, so he understands, he knows my heart. But I think I self-condemn myself because I don't want to lose that relationship, right? Or that feeling that I built up to with him. But yeah, I mean, that's just something that I'm just going to focus on, man, is, rather that's late at night or something, devoting some time to him that is just for him, just for me, just for us to, maintain our relationship. Because, man, like I love my family, man. I really, really do. And I love the life that I have. But I've just gotten to a point now where it's like, man, if Christ is not the center of that, I don't, like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? So, but no, I appreciate that, Dad. That's something for me to like reflect on. I actually feel a lot better after you said that. So I accept that word 1,000%.
Remember what Mike said that was so profound, which was probably 1,000 things with Mike, but he said, we're going to be on the mountain. We're going to come down in the valley. We stay in the valley most of the time, but he says, take advantage of those mountain moments.
And that's the thing.
They come around.
And that's the thing. I'm coming down the mountain trying, like almost full throttle, seem like, and I'm trying to find the emergency brake. I'm like, finding the hole, like I don't want it going this fast, but it is, I mean, it's, I got to find that, I'm like, Joshua, I got to find that right routine and everything too a little bit, but, I don't want to just having to do it on my drive in to work, that's the best time to do it for myself or right now, but it's, I don't want it always being that way, but it's a good aspect in it right now. So
For Casey?
yes.
Alrighty, it's gonna be something.
Awesome, guys. Awesome, man. Is there
Hey,
anything
did you?
anybody wants to get off their chest before we get started? Or
Any ketchup for you?
Yes, please.
Got order boy over there.
You know what?
why the last two? No, I lie. The last one he wasn't eating, but the one before that he was.
No, he was eating. He's been eating all of them. And I just asked him a second ago. I said, "You're not eating. Something's off."
Oh,
Change.
thank you.
Thank you for going.
But he does. He's gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna
Over
teach
there.
him how to mute his
I got-
thing.
I got some. I got Raisin Canes and stuff. Since the wife and them,
What'd you get?
I got Raisin Canes.
But like, what did you order?
Oh, I ordered the number 4, or the box combo, pretty much the 4-piece.
Get a hamburger?
box combo.
At Raising
No.
Cane's?
Hamburger.
Yeah, Raisin Canes.
You get some
Yeah.
ribs, brother?
That's when you go up to
Oh,
the
man,
window
I
and they
wish.
go, "Can I help you?" And you go, "Do you have any hamburgers?"
Yeah. Got any biscuits and mustard?
Got some mustard and biscuits.
Yeah, biscuit.
Do y'all know that reference? Mustard
Right.
and biscuits.
I sure don't.
Joshua's too young for that,
Yar, do
Sling
you,
Blade.
Andrew?
I'm
Huh?
30, so I don't know if I'm too young or not.
Yeah, it's a movie
Yeah.
called Sling Blade.
I
With
seen
Billy
Sling
Bob
Blade.
Thornton.
It's been a while. I seen that. That was one of my dad's faves.
Yeah, and he's like mustard and biscuit. I don't think that even
Biscuits.
sounds good.
I love Billy Bob Thornton.
Do what?
I love Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, he was Dwight
Yeah.
Yoakam that was one of his big debut movies, and then Billy Bob Thornton. It was a good movie, pretty funny, messed up, but it's what it
I'll
is.
still watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
So that way I can be in the cool kids club.
I wouldn't really think that puts you in the cool kids club. Probably puts you in the movies that we're not supposed to watch or something. I don't know.
Right.
So you want to start off with that prayer deal?
Yeah,
or-
I watched a
Yeah,
good Kevin
man.
Costner movie the other night.
What's up, Casey?
Yeah, go ahead. I said I watched the movie Love of the Game the other night and on Netflix. I was like, man, I hadn't seen that movie in years. Kevin Costner, him being the pitcher for Detroit Tigers, and pitched the perfect game in that movie. So
An old movie.
yeah. But yeah, don't forget to record it if you want to, Joshua, before you start. Before you start the prayer wise on it.
We had to get you past Raising Cane's first, man.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, I'll kind of mute my mic here and let you do what
As
you got to do.
smack-
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, guys. Put my phone on Do Not Disturb. All righty. All right, gentlemen. Well, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this sacred moment. We thank you for the opportunity to seek your face, to grow in your word. Holy Spirit, we welcome you. Fill this space. Speak through the lessons and speak to our hearts. Open our eyes to the truth, our ears to hear your voice, and our hearts to receive what you're saying today. Let this not be a routine meeting, but a divine appointment. We come against distractions, fear, doubt, anything that would try to steal the seed of the word. We declare this space sanctified, a place of learning, sharpening, sending. Prepare us, shape us, use us. We are here because we have been commissioned by Christ. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, man. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe we're at Genesis 14. But 14 is a little wordy, should I say. We can start at 14. That's where Abram rescues Lot. trying to see, or we can jump to 15, which is the covenant, where God promises a son to Abram and all that.
$14, and you said what 15 is?
Yeah. So 15 is where it kind of gets a little bit more normal without all like the 50 names that I can't pronounce.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm good with wherever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I'm cool jumping at 15. We can go through 15, 16, 17. They're not pretty long passages, but I think it'd be good for us to just keep it there. That way, if there's anything that stands out to us, and I'm trying to keep everybody on too long tonight.
Starting 15, right?
Yes, 15.
You want me to read first? You gonna read?
I could start. I could start if you want. I know y'all had to pick up a lot of my slack last week while I was grilling.
Oh, ain't no big deal.
Is everybody good? Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Awesome. So again, this is Genesis 15. So after these events, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield. Your reward will be very great. But Abram said, Lord God, what can you give me since I am childless, and the heir of my house is Eleazar of Damascus? Abram continued, look, you have given me no offspring, so a slave born in my house will be my heir. Now the word of the Lord came to him. This one will not be your heir. Instead, one who comes from your own body will be your heir. He took him outside and said, he said, look at the sky and count the stars. If you are able to count them, then he said to him, your offspring will be that numerous. Abraham believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. He also said to him, I am Yahweh, who brought you from Ur of the Chaldees to give you the land to possess. But he said, Lord God, how can I know that I will possess it? He said to him, bring me a 3-year-old cow, 3-year-old female goat, 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. So he brought all these to him, split them down the middle, laid the pieces opposite each other. But he did not cut up the birds. Birds of prey came down on the carcass. But Abraham drove them away. And as the sun was setting, a deep sleep fell on Abraham, and suddenly great terror and darkness descended on him. Then the Lord said to Abraham, know this for certain. Your offspring will be the foreigners in a land that does not belong to them. They will be enslaved and oppressed 400 years. However, I will judge the nation they serve, and afterward they will go out with many possessions. But you will go to your fathers in peace and buried at an old ripe age. In the 4th generation they will return here, for the iniquity of the Amorites has yet reached its full measure. When the sun set and it was dark, a smoking fire pit and a flaming torch appeared and passed between the divided animals. On that day, the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, I will give this land to your offspring. Broke Egypt to the Euphrates. How do you say that?
Euphrates?
Euphrates, thank you, brother. Euphrates River, the land of the Canaanites, the Kezanites, and the Kadamites, the Hittites, Perizzites, the Rephaim, Amorites, Canaanites. Y'all get the rest of it. We get the point.
Get your point.
everybody over there.
All those people.
Cool, yeah, all those lovely people. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Jebusites.
I remember before we jumped to 16, I remember I was hearing somebody talk about this passage where he was saying, ideally, right, like he made the covenant with Abraham, and instead of Abraham walking down, those like bodies, right? These animals, that the Lord took that upon himself, right? And I essentially he pointed out that the reason the Lord did that was because he knew that they were going to eventually break that covenant, right? And so if we see, right, like later down the line, who was crucified and whose flesh was actually torn apart, it was the Lord and not us in that particular moment, you know? And so it's crazy now when I'm like rereading that particular scripture and I'm kind of like seeing that in my head where, you know, the Lord was like, I'm gonna make this covenant, you're gonna break it, and I'm gonna have to come down and die for it. You know? So I think it's pretty interesting to see that, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Anybody
Anybody
have
else?
anything on that they picked up on, or y'all ready to jump to 16?
I'm good for 16.
You know, the one thing it stood out, and I'll just say, is 15:6, where he said, you know, because it was in Galatians when Paul was talking about him, and that he said, when he told him, he says, and he believed in the Lord, and the Lord accounted him righteous. You know, that was, you know, Paul was talking about faith in Galatians 3, and it's about how our faith and belief in the Lord and how that equates to helping us in our righteousness with the Lord and our faith. You know, I've seen that a lot in Galatians, reading that lately, and didn't know where it was in Genesis, and there it is. But I just how that stood out, how Abraham. But what's crazy is, you know, Zechariah, not Zechariah, who was John the Baptist's dad?
Um, Damn it, we were just
Oh,
talking about that. Yeah.
you know, anybody know? Anyways, remember when he questioned the angel and he made him go, he
You?
basically made him go mute. But then
Yeah.
But Mary's question was angled differently. And then you
Yeah.
got Abram right here questioning too. Basically, he came and told him, I'm going to do this. But then he goes, how am I going to do it? And he's like, what's the difference when how they question? I know Troy Brewer preached on it at one time about how he questioned them, but then the Lord actually laid it out for him, which is pretty cool. But I don't know. I just thought that stood out.
I didn't even look at that way. That's actually really neat. It's a good perspective to have on that.
It's sometimes when the Lord comes to you with a promise, it's like, do you believe, or do you question? How am I going to do it? So I don't know. That was just something to think about.
That's funny. That's funny. I'll say I'm gonna hold that thought. I'll save it for later. But y'all remember this exact thing you just said, and how it literally just smacked me in the face with the Holy Spirit. That's crazy. Okay,
There you go.
that's crazy.
All right. You want to read on?
Yeah. Who's taking on 16?
You good? You need a moment?
Oh no, I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. You want to read, or you want to read, Andrew? You want me to read?
I don't know if you want me to read. I've got the King James version right here.
Well, I got the New King. What are you, Joshua? What are you reading from?
Well, I normally read off of NIV.
Okay.
This particular one is the Holman Christian Standard Bible.
I got you. Because I'm the New King James Version. Oh, so you got the thee thouest Andrew over there, huh?
That's just what I grew up on.
Hey, it's all good. Nobody,
You know what? I used to love the King James version, and then when I found these, I was like, "Oh, this is so much more like my language to like actually read the scripture."
Yeah.
But I know Pastor Troy loves the King James version.
I gotta say, the Amplified is amazing. It's really
Amplified's awesome. Yeah. See, that's what I like about the Bible app on the phone, and because I'll be reading. I fell in love with the NLT, the New Living Translation, and how it comes across. But then when you're reading scripture, how quick on your phone you can switch to the the amplifieds is so awesome because it'll put a lot of the Greek in it and stuff, and the other meanings for it, and helps elaborate it. But then sometimes what I'll do is, if I really want it to talk to me like I would talk to me, you switch over to the Message Bible, and it's
Oh, I
just
got my wife one of those.
yeah, it's like somebody talking to you plainly.
Yeah.
Man, I tried the Message Bible. I feel it's a little bit too wordy.
And
It
even
can be for sure.
even the Passion Translation's a good one as well, and even the Tree of Life version is a good one too.
It's just cool to
But
be able
yeah,
to reach out and when you really like a scripture and start digging into it, it's pretty neat. Well, I guess we'll skip the King James guy.
oh no, hey, come on, Andrew,
You
bring
can
it.
do it, man. We've all heard it.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
gonna say I'll pull it up on my phone so I can follow with it better.
You want? All right. Can everybody hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Dallas can.
Now can.
All right. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said to Abram, Behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went into Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And, and Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that he had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as thou pleasest. And with Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence camest thou, and whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all of his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called, oh, this one's crazy. Bir Lahairoi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram.
That chapter's got a lot.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's for me that chapter right there. I mean, you know,
Did we lose Josh?
there he is. I guess he had to switch. Yeah, he had to,
Josh has been going in and
there
out.
he is.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. He switched on.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro.
Were you in your room and then you went outside?
No, I've been outside. I just had the green screen on, so you weren't able to see. But my damn laptop died, so I had to switch to my phone.
But yeah, just that chapter right there, how Abram's wife, Sarah, she's like, she even gave Abram her, maid servant, but turns around when she gets, when she gets pregnant and becomes real jealous about it. I'm like, okay, that's, and, pretty much almost banishes her, and tells her to leave because, hey, you wound up getting pregnant with. I'm like, okay, so isn't that what you wanted? Since you couldn't have a kid, I was like, wow, until God was, blessed her. But yeah,
She didn't know what she was signing up for.
Yeah.
exactly.
Poor thing.
Well, you know what's crazy about that is like a lot of the things that's been going around is, especially hitting all of our lives, but God gave you a promise, and what did he not do? His impatience. He wasn't patient,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore trusting in the Lord, and therefore he took it in his own hands to go, well, the Lord's not answering. Maybe this is the option we need to do. And therefore they go and do something and it's not the way of the Lord. And then it's like they quickly discover their sin and the distrust in God. And it's like they try to get rid of it and try to get rid of their sin. And God's like, no, you're going to bring it back, recognize it, and understand the consequence from you not trusting. But, that's the biggest thing is God gives you a promise, and basically like what's going through my life right now. It's that long suffering that you're sitting there going, okay, God, you gave me a promise. And then they said, what was it, 10 years? You're reading. And it's like, it's been 10 years. Now she hasn't gotten pregnant. So we're going to do it on our own. That's what I took majorly from that whole thing was the impatience and trust of God's promise.
And I was trying to, like I said in the last chapter, I was trying to eat, but the factor is I still enjoyed that it was, what was it it was in threes, that he brought all the offerings in threes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each animal was in threes, of clean animals and everything. I was like, wow. And then he, of course, split them down the middle. So I mean that doubled the portion. I was like, wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how God can use us in spite of our mistakes too.
Yeah.
I agree.
It kind of makes me think of when Isaiah was told to be naked, and he spent 3 years being naked just because God said it, and then he never told him to stop. I mean, what kind of faith do you have to just be like, God said this, and he didn't tell me to stop, so I'm just gonna keep being naked, Like,
You think that would be the one you question all the time? Okay, God, you have to be naked today. You have to be naked
I
today.
do.
I think he liked it. He had to.
I'd bargain with God every day, bro.
And it's just, I mean, the way, like you were saying, with the way David danced before the Lord and everything too. I mean, if he, it's like, wow. I
I will
mean,
be more undignified than this.
yeah. I'm like, all right, Lord. I mean, you want me to go running out in the woods in the, just, my birthday suit, just, praising your name? Sure, let's go. I mean, just,
That's crazy.
send a notification to my wife on speed dial and let her know I'm in jail. Come get me.
Which a different form of streaking. Tell you that.
Right, exactly.
Biblical streaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100% different.
Right.
See if we start that group thing. Hey guys, we're gonna this next Friday we're gonna do a biblical streaking. Anybody want to join me? Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, we're gonna have to
We'd
get
probably
Jake
get
in his pink.
arrested.
Yeah, we'd probably have to get Jake in his pink speedo.
Yeah, we would definitely get arrested for that one, probably.
Probably, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on if you're in Joshua, as Troy says, Texas. I don't know. Depends on where you're at.
That's true.
Certain-
That's true.
Dallas, you
Yeah.
might get away with it.
Yeah, they'll think we're a bunch of psychopaths.
We're just expressing ourselves.
Yeah, that's it. That's funny, bro.
So, well, cool. We want to go ahead in the next one. You want me to read 17?
Yeah, hit it up.
Can I get a yay or an A or a?
Yay, sir.
All righty. I got the New King James, so maybe it won't be too bad. All right. Let's see here. The sign of the covenant. When Abraham was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram and said to him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be blameless. I will make my covenant between me and you, and I will multiply you exceedingly. Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be a father of many nations. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings shall come from you. I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you and your generations for an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and your descendants after you. Also, I give to you and your descendants after you the land in which you are a stranger, all the land of Canaan as an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said to Abraham, As for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you throughout the generations. This is my covenant, which you shall keep between me and you and your descendants after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised, and you shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskins, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised, every male child in your generations, he who is born in your house or bought with money from any foreigner who is not your descendant. He who is born in your house and he who is bought with your money must be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. The uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of the foreskin, that person shall be cut off from his people. He has broken from my covenant. Then God said to Abraham, As for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but call her Sarah, shall be her name. And I will bless her and also give you a son by her. Then I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be from her. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said in his heart, Shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, who is 99 years old, bear a child? And Abraham said to God, Oh, that Ishmael might live before you. Then God said, No, Sarah, your wife, shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him from an everlasting covenant and with his descendants after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. He shall beget 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you at this set time next year. Then he finished talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. So Abraham took Ishmael, his son, all who were born in his house, and all who were bought with money, every male among the male of men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskins that very same day. That was a rough day. As God said to him, Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of the foreskin. And Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old. That's a tough day when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. That very same day, Abraham was circumcised, and so was Ishmael. And all the men of the house were born in this house were bought with money from the foreigner, were circumcised with him.
That's crazy.
It's a rough day. Thank God for Jesus.
Rough day. I hope he gave him some instruction of how to do it.
Sharp rock. Sharp rock.
Like, you know what I mean? I hope he just wasn't winging it, bro.
Yeah, he really doesn't say it in that, does he? He just says circumcising.
Get it off.
He didn't say, hey, bro, you need to do it this way or that way. Or
Well, you know, God, what's funny about throughout the whole Bible, he's so detailed. You know, he doesn't tell him how far up. He just says take the whole foreskin off.
yeah.
So I guess there's just some common sense based in it. But I would hate to live 99 years old and realize, dang, this has got to go.
It barely works, so now I got to cut the tip off.
He's like, what the heck? I thought was funny is how he laughed at him.
Yeah.
Basically questioned him like, really? But he instantly said his new names.
Yeah.
You know, like he's sitting there laughing at him and questioning him at the same time. But then he's like, well, how's Sarah going to do this? Well, he instantly spoke her new name, but in the meantime, laughing at him like, okay. But it's just so crazy how it shows the father of our faith and how wavering he was in his faith.
Yeah.
Reassuring.
And then we feel guilty. We feel so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was going to laugh at him, I'd be laughing at him about the circumcision. Like, okay, I know you're joking, God. But
Yeah. Can we not like do something else?
Right.
Is that the
is
only
there
way?
another way to confirm your covenant?
Yeah, exactly. Can we get a certain haircut? Something. I would have questioned that one for sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's interesting. That's really, really interesting, man.
Casey's over here playing Call of Duty.
Oh well, I got my Blue Parrot headset on. Yeah.
When did you make it home, Casey?
He's the one over there circumcising everybody on his games.
No, I just walked in the house and stuff a few minutes ago. So yeah, I was able to, make
I
it
think we
home.
figured that part out.
Oh, I know, right? Thank goodness.
I love that, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Call of Duty over there. I didn't think put two and two. Most people I see with headsets like that are truck drivers that get out of their trucks at work.
It's a Blue Parrot headset. So yeah, it's so. But yeah.
Andrew started that, so you can blame him.
Nah.
Anybody else take something from 17 or other than the circumcised all put us in pain, but
yeah. I mean in my footnotes in my Bible and stuff, it has, at the bottom, of course, it says, 17:5-6 is since Abraham was childless, his name meaning exalted father, must have been a source of embarrassment to him. Here it changed to Abraham, which means father of many. So Abram's name embarrassment to him. Sorry. Yeah, I had light bulb burnout. Sorry. But yeah,
You lost that thought.
Abraham's name is real since real since or since became his promise from God. It would have been a continual reminder and source of hope, or that God would come through for him in the end. And then of course 17:9 through 10 and 24 through 27 is that many of our significant relationships uh, are symbolized by an outward sign. It says for example, married people wear rings as a sign of their marriage commitment. Circumcision was a sign of agreement or covenant between God and Abraham. It was a mark by which Abraham's descendants were set apart as God's special people. Inner changes are needed to be are accompanied by the outer signs. Our beliefs are needed to be proven by action as changes begin to take place inside. We need to express these things or express these changes outwardly in our actions and lifestyle. Wow, that I would have never thought of it that way, so in that manner, you know. But yeah, that the wedding ring and stuff, represents, of course, like it said right there, our commitment and everything, and covenant in marriage. But yeah, back then it was circumcision. I was like, wow.
I'll take the ring any day.
Yeah. No, yeah.
That wouldn't be a wedding ceremonial event I want to go to.
No.
I ain't coming.
I ain't coming. Well, we're going to the circumcised part of the ceremony.
Yeah.
That would definitely ruin the wedding night. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Luckily nowadays, it's done before you even know what happened.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Well, it is crazy how we still do it, even though I guess it's an unnecessary process,
Yeah.
but it's still done today a lot. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know. That's kind of crazy. So
That is crazy.
I don't know. I don't know if y'all know much on the Jew. I don't know if Jews do it still or not, or
No idea.
I think they do. I think they
'cause
still.
my dad actually wasn't circumcised, which was crazy. But I mean, all of us, I was 4 boys, and we all were, and he did it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know too many people that do it or don't. That's one of those questions you don't really ask a man when you're talking to him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, like for me, like my boys, I never got that circumcised.
You never got your boys circumcised?
Nah. I kept it all natural. You know what I mean?
You trying to keep it biblical and wait till they're 13?
I'll do it for them. I'll do it for them.
You're like, let's walk out in the backyard and you start looking for rocks. And they're like, what are you doing, Dad? I'll let you know.
I'll let you know here in a bit. Yeah, no, man. I kept the hoodie on the ponchos, man. You know?
Hoodie on the ponchos.
So I don't know. For me, it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if it was still a covenant that we had between the Lord, I probably would have. But I just didn't find it necessary to. You know what I mean? There's nothing, right? Like, I think after, right, like Jesus came in person, it's more about the circumcision of the heart than it is of physical now. You know?
That's our new covenant. We're made righteous through him.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So no more, rock cutting. I hope.
Well, fellas, I got a skedaddle, but let me know what y'all read up to, and I'll.
No,
catch
yeah, we were just going up to 17, brother. Yeah, I know that this
Okay.
was gonna be a short one. I'm not even in my element right now. Everything's dying on me. But I appreciate you being here, brother, for sure,
Thank
man.
you for allowing it. It's been great, and I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely, dude.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, you guys have a good Friday. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you later,
Andrew, is there
man.
anything we can or keep in prayer for you?
Pray for my wife. Here lately, the devil has been going to her to get to me because I'm on a little solider foundation. So he's found that works, and that's his go-to now. So just keep that in
Okay.
mind for me.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah, I know my wife's gonna be going to Quest in September, so yeah, she's gonna go to Quitman. So and yeah. So hopefully a few other ladies from Open Door will jump on that bandwagon as well.
Yeah, it's life-changing. You already know.
Oh yeah. So
We'll be praying for you, brother.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we'll be
all.
praying for that, Andrew.
I
yeah.
really appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a
Yes,
good
sir.
night.
You
Good
too,
night,
brother.
man.
Alrighty.
What did,
Yeah.
well, man, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was a short one, fellas, but it was a good one, man. It was actually good, getting with y'all today, man. I really needed it on a spiritual level, man. Like as you guys can see, man, like
Yeah, my
my laptop's. Oh,
daughter.
hi, sweetie.
Yeah, my daughter wanted to chime in or say hi, or you want to wave hi? Yeah. Well, Abby.
There we go. We see the
Yeah, there she
hand.
is.
I
They
saw
are.
it. But yeah, man, like I know that like as you guys can see, man, like my laptop's dying. They took the charger out of my car, like so when it's like little simple stuff like that I mean, man, where I feel like, the enemy's been trying to make it a little bit inconvenient for me
Yeah.
lately, but man, just being with you guys and having some good laughs and getting a little bit of the word in, man, it made me feel good, bro. It really, really did.
That's good, man. That's
Yeah,
good.
definitely. Yeah, it
Remember
was
that
good.
Galatians 6, man, that shield of faith, because extinguishes those fiery darts, and he likes to throw those little bitty ones.
Yes,
That's
he
true.
does.
That's true.
Yeah, and it's good seeing you on Sunday and everything, just for a split minute. But
Yeah, I know. When I actually ended up going in person, because
yeah,
Dale, you went to first service last week, right?
I think Dell was at the first service. Wasn't you, Dell?
I was
Or
at
was you at first or
I was
second
at the
service?
first service because I helped pass out the food afterwards.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think did we lose you, Joshua? I think you went on mute.
Yeah.
Went a
There you,
goner.
there you go.
Went a goner.
But yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, I've seen Joshua, like I said, for a couple minutes, and then yeah, we go in the service and stuff, and then Pastor Troy does the honors all the high school graduates and stuff like that, and don't even really get into his word on the second service. He's like,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah, the
so
first service he just said we just need to give honor to him, and it just went on.
yep,
He spent like
exactly,
30 seconds on it.
yep,
That was
yep.
it.
So
That's funny.
exa-
I'm meeting with Michael in the morning, the guy that we did the last night. We talked about the mentee stuff.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Who'd you end up partnering with?
Uh, 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 Josh or Josh Avery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he just got back
You?
from, like I said, he just got back from Quest and stuff, and Quitman. So
Yeah, I talked to him on that men's breakfast on Saturday, right
yeah,
after he got back. He was
man,
on fire.
oh yeah, definitely. He's
Uh-oh, now we're in the car.
Yeah.
oh man, look at that.
Where are we going now?
And now I'm heading back to the house.
Oh, heck,
Oh, you
see,
were at
you could
Starbucks?
hang on, transfer into your car, I guess.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you could have done
I
your,
got
you
you.
could have done the
Yeah,
Zoom just like I was in
I
the
went to
truck
Starbucks.
or in the vehicle.
Well, so that's what I did, right? Like when I first hopped on, I was in the car and I was like, oh, let me go sit down on the chairs and table so I can sit more comfortably.
Yeah.
And then it was more loud out there. And I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, you could have done it in there, and I had
So
a full charge on.
where do you live, Josh?
I live in Azle. So,
Okay, you're in Azle.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh wow, because I got a real good friend of mine that lives in Azle.
Oh, yeah?
Shoot. So
Yeah, and then
you had to drive to Weatherford for Starbucks then, huh?
No. Well, I drove into
Or to Lake
White
Worth,
Settlement.
sorry, not White Settlement. Yeah,
Okay.
Lake Worth, White Settlement area. Yeah. Not Weatherford.
Because really, we live in Lakeside,
Okay.
but it's damn near 2 minutes from Azle, so I just say Azle. Make it a little
Yeah.
bit easier.
that's
I
never a
got
fun place to get to.
no, it
199 is
is not.
horrible.
Yep. Yeah,
Then
we
you got to
deliver.
go if you're going from 820, exit Silver Creek. You can sneak through the back ways and
Yeah,
all
that's literally
that.
how I go home is on Silver Creek.
And that's my buddy. He lives off. Used to work with him for many years, and he has to take Silver Creek. He works in downtown Fort Worth area too. So,
Oh wow.
but
Yeah,
my wife's sister lives in Azle.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
I deliver oil to the Jiffy Lube over there every now and then.
So how long does that take you to get to church from there? 45?
About 45 minutes.
Yeah.
45 minutes. That's why, everybody's like, oh, we better see you at first service. I'm like, brother, don't hold your breath. Because I'm not waking up at 7
We just pick on you with that, brother.
to do that.
We're
I'm like, bro, I like my sleep. I'm
When
asleep.
I
I'm
had
making
kids,
second
when I
service.
had kids, it'd be hard. But from like I'm in. Well, since me and the wife are separated, I'm in Denton now, but it still takes me an hour to get to
Oh, you're
church.
all the way in Denton.
Huh?
I said, you're all the way in Denton.
Yeah, I'm in Denton. I was in Alvord, which is an hour. Denton's 55. So, but yeah.
Okay.
well,
So yeah,
but
last
but
night was fun.
good thing about the Texpress though. I mean that going all the way down from there. I mean hitting
I try not to
Texpress.
take that because that's a whole paycheck taking that sucker.
That is true. That is true.
That's one
What?
thing that got voted on in Fort Worth that rips that's the biggest rip off system in Fort
Well,
Worth.
Yeah.
because of the fact
Oh,
that it's Texas don't own that.
well, but
Texas, yeah,
they
Texas,
change rates based off of how
yeah,
busy
but
it is. I mean,
yeah,
it's
and
crazy.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, if it was the NTTA, they wouldn't technically change it as
Yeah, it's
much.
owned by a Spanish company.
Yeah, and they
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
mean
sold
Texas,
out probably 15 years ago or 10 years ago to a
yep,
foreign company.
yeah, Texas didn't have the money to do it, so that foreign company pitched in and said, yeah, we'll take pretty much we'll profit you the money, but yeah, we'll taking everything that is on it.
Well, the good
Yeah.
thing
So
on
that
Sunday mornings, there's if I go to the 9 o'clock service, I mean, I can literally cut through downtown Fort Worth and there's no traffic. It's
right,
Yeah.
But when I go to the 11:30 service, there'll be a little bit of traffic. Sometimes I have to take the toll road,
yeah,
um,
Yeah.
right there because I'll cut off the one right after 820. But
Man, I
right,
remember, what was it, like a week ago, I had a job out in Dallas and I was leaving around like 5, which I hate leaving Dallas at that time. Um, it easily adds a half hour to my commute back home. And I remember like passing the toll road, it said $35.
wow,
I
yeah, I
said,
know,
absolutely not.
the one
Absolutely.
on 820,
Yeah.
183 one,
Yeah.
hmm
that's the biggest ripoff, and it's horrible, man.
yeah,
It's
It
terrible.
gets trafficy too. You'll sit in traffic.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I try, and that's when they jack the prices up is because of they can take advantage of that because people
Well,
are,
they do it. The
yeah,
reasoning is to avoid people from getting on it. So it's to cater to the
yeah,
elites
to
that
the
can afford it,
elite,
I guess.
yeah,
But of all the
well,
cities that need it expand to 4 lanes, they do it, but make it toll road. It is a ripoff for sure.
yep,
Yeah. Yeah. Because
yeah,
this,
and
this
But
is the thing though, right? At the end of the day, right? If I'm like, okay, I'm an average person, I work a normal job, I decide to get on a toll road, and I still got to deal with traffic, and you're still charging me 20, 30, $35 to get on it. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting in traffic like everybody else.
Yep.
What's the purpose? You know?
Yeah, that whole system up there is horrible.
I mean,
Yeah, bro.
I take
Horrible
that
system.
area with that area with my work truck or with the work truck and stuff, you know, because it's not coming out of my own pocket. So I'm like, hey, you know, if I can if I can jab the company, you know, make them pay a little extra money, you know.
Well, so for companies, it's actually a write-off.
Oh
They
yeah, it
actually get to
is.
write off their tow charges.
Yeah.
I don't know how much percentage they get to, because that's what I'll definitely do. But when I first met my wife, I was driving from Mansfield to Decatur, and I wasn't sitting in that traffic, and it was adding like $10 or $15 a day. That adds up.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What is that? Spiritual
Yeah.
warfare.
Yeah.
Oh, is that one they were talking about last night?
No, it's one book
Oh,
that I actually got from Mardell's and stuff, you know. It's Life Principles of Spiritual Warfare by Eddie or I
Eddie
guess
Shepherd.
yeah, Eddie Ross Snake or
Resnick. Resnick.
Yeah, Resnick. Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Coolio. So what is this
It's
Eddie what?
Eddie
Resnick. Resnick.
Snake. Yeah.
Resnick. So, well, cool.
But
What is
What are
y'all's
you saying, Dan?
weekend plans?
Man, I know we're getting ready to go to a marriage conference in Austin.
oh
It's not this weekend. I think we're leaving on the 2nd. So we'll be out in Austin for a few days. So really, man, I'm just trying to get all my work stuff done so that way I can try to not work while I'm on that trip. Um,
Yeah,
trying to get my
that ain't good for a
done
marriage
and
conference.
yeah.
no, man. Uh, no, but I'm a workaholic, man. Like I'll fit it in, dude, and that's my problem. Like I'm like, okay, I can fit it in, you know. So if I can just get everything off of my plate and unload everything before I go, it'd be great. I mean, I think it's a 1 day event. I think so. Um,
Is it through
but
the
my
church?
sister-in-law, she's one of the. It's with Bride Ministries.
Okay.
Who's some of the
Yeah, so
speakers?
my sister-in-law works with them. Yeah, my sister-in-law works with them as like a counselor. And she's the one that told us about it. And they kind of prayed on it, and so I was like, okay, cool. Everybody has a good feeling about it. Let's go. So
Cool. Who's
yeah,
some of the speakers?
I have no idea, brother.
Oh, okay.
I have
I
no
know
idea.
I know me and my wife we went to one of Kirk Cameron's marriage conference deals when they had it in Cleburne. It is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Cleveland,
most of the time
Texas.
I just show up, man. I just show up.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good for you, man. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So, but not too crazy, man. Not too crazy. Like I said, just trying to get things situated, and um, and I may take some time to fast this weekend on
Yeah.
some new endeavors that the Lord has put in my heart. Uh, so I may fast this weekend to kind of like get a good, kind of get away from all the mess a little bit. So
Well,
Y'all keeping
guess what me and Dell actually heard last night,
what's
Josh?
that?
The guy that founded Quest is actually going to be speaking at the men's breakfast. He's going to be
No,
at our
wait.
men's
What the
breakfast.
next men's breakfast?
Yes, sir.
When's the next one?
It's coming up, I think, I want to say maybe next month or maybe
Okay.
here in this coming
I
June
think
or
he said
July.
something like July or something like
July.
that.
So, yeah.
Okay. Good. Man,
You know
that's
what's
awesome.
I hope it's not the weekend I'm out of town, July 4th weekend.
Right. Yeah, I don't think they do the men's
What
breakfast on a July 4th weekend.
did you catch what Earl was hinting at?
On what?
So he was saying that Michael's wife's has been coming to
Oh,
Cole.
yeah.
I mean, been coming to
Open door.
Open Doors, and that he was like, wouldn't that be cool if Michael came on staff at Open Doors and he would
Oh,
be
yeah.
a backup preacher?
Well, I think him and Jerry I think him and Jerry connect a lot. That's why he's able to, I mean, Jerry, wouldn't have any or anybody else doing the quests and stuff for men, and he's, Mike's Jerry's go-to, guy for
Oh
doing it.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool if he came on
And
board.
that'd be awesome, bro. I
Yeah.
love Mike, bro. I love him. That dude
Yeah.
has so much depth to him without even saying anything. You can tell that he's seen a thing or two.
Yeah.
You know?
I think some of the guys with Bold Encounter are getting. I think he may be out there with Bold Encounter right now with them. So I think he said he is going to be there for the Bold Encounter. I think.
And it's awesome what he's been doing, man. It's been so
But
awesome.
there's a lot of things happening at Open Doors and a lot of men going through this process. It should create a good tribe for sure.
Oh yeah.
We just got to get all our guys. Have y'all heard from any of our group much?
Man, John, Tall John. Me and him were, man, we were, dude, like talking like crazy, man. And I'd say for like the past 2 weeks, he's just been ghost, man. Like I'll text him and he'll occasionally respond to my text messages. And
I seen him at church.
yeah, I didn't get to see him the last time, but I know, like, I told him, like, the last time we communicated was probably last week. I was like, how's things going, man? And he's like, man, like, I'm angry at my wife and, just kind of not really feeling myself.
Wow.
And so I told him, I said, hey, man, we can meet up. And, you're always more than welcome to call me. And so he hasn't responded back to me.
Well, I know they've been doing been trying to go to marriage conference or marriage, group and stuff. They, friends that or some people they met at uh the marriage retreat.
marriage
Yeah,
conference.
at Redemption Ranch and stuff. They,
Well, I
been
know
meeting up with them.
I know Will said he's willing to open up his house, and I know Daniel Johnson, the guy that roomed with me, says he's got some property.
Even
That's what the devil's going to try his best to do is get
yeah.
everybody to drift apart.
Well, and even Josh Avery said
Yeah,
he's
Josh
got
said the new equip guy. Yeah,
he's got 4 acres. So
somebody just needs to. I guess we just probably need to initiate some type of get together and just get everybody to try to talk again and just see how they're going. But
yeah,
I don't know, or just at least get everybody back together again.
yeah. So I know Josh was saying, or him and his wife were talking about, maybe getting something set up with even doing mercy, and
Yeah.
so, but
Guess if you're gonna, since you and Josh are gonna be talking a lot lately, maybe see if if he's willing to open it up, then maybe we could send that big group out with some dates and see what's
yeah.
open for everybody. Because everybody's busy, of course, and
Oh
got
yeah.
stuff going on, but it might be one of those things where we just have to force ourselves to do it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
Because I mean, if we can, because I'm trying to, manage also with the gun range one and stuff too. I'm trying to get hooked up with Joseph Hicks and trying to get in contact with him, see if we can do something out at his property for the next one, on the 14th of June. So,
Yeah.
it's but I hadn't been able to get a hold of him, and just that way we could all be in or do it all at one place, and not have to go to Alpine and then wind up turning around and having to leave and go to Earl's, which is not that far, but if we don't have to leave, we can do it all in one spot, that'd be even better.
Yeah, I agree.
So
That'll work.
so yeah, The
Okay.
the 14th of June is when we're gonna try to do the next deal. Josh, just letting you know. Oh, Josh, did I lose you? Yep, I think we lost him.
That's what we said, right? Father's Day weekend, 14th of June. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
perfect. Yeah, I should be able to do that. My son's having surgery that Thursday. I hope I'll get to see him that weekend. Um, depending
I
on how
mean,
he's doing, depending
I
on
mean,
how
I
he's
know
doing,
everybody's.
come down and shoot.
Yeah, I know everybody's busy and stuff, and that's why uh, posted the dates on there. But I need to copy and paste Earl's deal on there, but take off the $3 part like he was telling me last night. Because I mean he was wanting to charge $3 and stuff, for the hamburgers and all that, and your sons eat free or whatever. I was like, okay, I can understand, if we go to Alpine, then somebody's, they're paying for the gun range, fee and
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
else on top of that. It's gonna, make the group from going like this to go, poof, scatter. Oh no, if we're paying $3 extra for a no. But I mean, I think if we can, all pitch in something, maybe,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that wouldn't be bad. I mean, heck, I'd even tell Joseph I'd bring my grill and everything too, if I had to, roll up my grill in the back of the truck or whatever, and you know, grab a bag of charcoal and stuff like that, and a couple uh deals of mesquite wood or whatever too, So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we can
so
figure something out. But yeah, I should try to, I should be able to make that one for sure.
all right,
So I just haven't replied on it. But I'm saying I'm hoping maybe we'll go to that one, then maybe I can pick my son up and at least have him for Father's Day. So
yeah,
um but sounds like fun. Can you shoot? You think at that guy's property we can shoot an AR?
yeah, yeah, pretty sure.
Okay. Because I
I
haven't
mean,
got to shoot my AR yet after I bought it.
yeah, I know we need to, um, you know, want to try to get a, berm built, pretty much a backstop built up or whatever, like I was telling y'all last night, if we can, I mean, if a bunch of us can all kind of pitch in and, you know, get some, get a little bit of fund or something, our funds going for, even buying some railroad ties. I mean, heck, there's a spot in Rendon, going toward
Yeah, off
Mansfield and everything.
1187.
Yeah, off
Yeah.
1187 that sells railroad ties. I mean,
That
heck, I
one
got a.
guy off of 820 and Wilbur, he's pretty cheap too,
Oh
up
yeah,
there in Fort
okay.
Worth.
I
That's
mean,
where I bought them.
I hadn't priced any
My
what they're
brother
selling
just
them over
bought
there.
some plastic. My brother bought some plastic ones, which weren't bad. They look just like them,
Yeah, but I mean,
and
if
they
you're
were
shooting,
maybe
you
a
want the
dollar more, but
full.
I think they are. I think they're $18 now, maybe a piece, 18 or
Yeah,
20.
but if you're actually shooting, you want the wood wise, so the
No, I wasn't
actual wood
saying. I was
tie.
saying the plastic
Yeah.
ones were. No, I was just saying the plastic one. I was trying to remember off his price, and I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay.
sure they're either 18 or 20 for the regular railroad ties for the
Okay.
number two for the number twos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it would be good to get some price or try to shop around, and look around and stuff, see if I can get some prices on railroad ties. That way we can all pitch in or something. And yeah, I know we'd have to get a piece of machinery or something to like a tractor or something like that to be able to lift them up, and build it. But I mean, get a bunch of us men out there. It wouldn't take long at all to build something up, you know.
Now, if he
And
wants to do that, or I mean, I don't think he can dig a pit and have a backstop of dirt, but
right. I mean, well, you can. Hell, he's probably got uh, a tank or something that we could put those. I know he's got enough property. Heck, he can, or we can shoot at tannerite and everything.
yeah.
So
Well, if it comes
yeah,
down to it, I got access at work to a skidster with a
oh, okay,
claw,
yeah,
and a trailer, and I can just hook it up and haul it for the weekend or something if we decide to do something.
we may put a bug in his ear about that and stuff. See what he because he works at the church and stuff. So I mean, he works Joseph's a maintenance guy, so now.
Okay.
But,
Excuse me.
but
Okay, that sounds like
all
a
right,
plan.
yeah.
All right.
So we'll get something figured out.
Well, cool, man. Well, don't
Cause
have too much fun this weekend.
oh no, I gotta go get my mower and stuff tomorrow from my buddy James's house. Go pick or go get the trailer and mower, and I let him borrow my mower and stuff, and it's been over at his house ever since. So I'm like,
Now you get to do some mowing this weekend, huh?
yeah, I gotta try to get some mowing done. Yeah, the grass is almost getting to my knees. I'm like, yeah. So all the rain and
That's
everything we've been having, I can't keep up.
Oh yeah, you got your little zero turn.
Yeah, I got a zero turn. Yep, Cup
Yeah,
Cadet.
that
Yeah,
was a
only way
game
to go.
changer. That was a
Oh
game
yeah,
changer. Whoever invented that.
yeah, definitely. I mean, because yeah, regular mower it'd take me hour, almost two, or well, hour and a half to 2.5 hours. Mow a acre, and shoot, this cuts it down to about maybe an hour flat. You know,
Yeah.
so depends on how depends on how high the grass is and how wet it is. But
Well, we've
but if
got.
it's
Go ahead.
no, I said if it's too wet in the back, even with the sprinklers going, it makes it horrible. I don't
Yeah,
like leaving a lot of mud tracks.
it's a muddy mess at our work, but there's just something about when the grass is high, we got a nice big commercial Kubota one, um, and it's just fun driving those things. It's just
Right.
I love just getting in the skidster and just messing around and doing
Oh
stuff.
yeah. I mean, skid steers are fun, and yeah,
It's our big Tonka toys as we grow up, man.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was able to uh when I worked for like Canatzer and Lindamood and even AMS and Cleburne, you know, you know, drove the fuel truck and stuff, and was able to, you know, be able to get in a couple of the skid steers, move them over to the truck or whatever, or if I was greasing it up, have them move it around where I could actually get to the all or get to all the grease points and everything, and filling it up and everything, and while the guys are blowing out the filters and stuff, I'm like, but then all of a sudden they didn't want us at one company they didn't want us blowing out the filters. They just wanted us tapping them out because
Yeah.
it kept getting, or I guess some of them kept blowing holes in the filters because all the dirt and everything, the dirt, they'd blow from the outside first instead of inside. You go to the inside and then kind of barely dust the outside of it. So yes,
Okay.
you did. What'd you make? What'd you make?
It's a surprise.
Oh,
How old is she?
until Father's Day, she's 7. So she's gonna make me wait all the way until Father's Day.
How old's your oldest?
That's my only. Yeah,
Only
she's
you have
7.
just one? 7?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mine were 7, 13 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
I had twin girls.
Oh
So,
wow.
but
See that?
yeah.
See see that picture right there?
Yeah.
That's a picture of my dad and stuff. And how old was Abby? What? Maybe 2? Yeah. So yeah, she was 2 years old and stuff, and I was kind of holding her, standing or holding her in my lap and everything, and you know, uh, she happened to look up at that picture and everything, and she pointed at it and said "Pawpaw," and
Wow.
I never, we never really talked to her about my dad and everything about her Pawpaw, my dad, and
Yeah.
yeah, and boy, you want to talk about bringing a grown man to his or grown man to tears. I mean,
That's crazy.
because
That's
because
crazy.
I mean, that was just a major confirmation for me because of the fact that, I know my dad handpicked her because she's literally the first our first girl to a Cleveland male in over 40 years.
Really?
So yeah, and my dad passed or died doing what he loved, bull riding and stuff. He
Yeah.
got stepped on in '84. But yeah, it was just crazy, confirmation right there that, you know, uh, you know, and that's one of the deals in my on our fast day and stuff, writing a letter to my
Yeah, I
dad.
remember you saying, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And, I was like, man, I thanked him for my daughter, for him picking my daughter, and gonna
Almost
pull me.
fell. Yes, she fell.
She's okay.
You lost. You excited? You're out for school for the summer?
Oh yeah, she's definitely excited. Yeah, she's out. She she grad or she graduated with AB honor roll technically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kindergarten AB honor roll, huh?
First grade.
I'm being funny. She can't
Yeah.
hear me, can she?
Yeah. No, she can't.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. I just realized in your headset she probably can't
Yeah.
hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
what?
that's fun.
I don't want. Huh?
Well, man, I'll let you to your
Yeah, she
family.
graduated. Yeah, she graduated from Open Door Academy. She goes to ODA.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's
Yeah. So
cool.
first grade, she'll be in second, and I'm like, good Lord.
It goes by quick, brother. It goes
Yeah, I
by quick.
know. Someone once told me you only got 18 summers with them. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, mine were, I mean, they were unfortunately, God shows you things, but
Yeah.
I idolized them over God, but they were the joys of my life, man.
Yeah.
But me and my ex split when they were 10. But man, ever since then, it's just you lose it. You just
Yeah.
lose time. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But I
And
miss,
she's, you know, we got Superbook on right now and stuff, and she loves Superbook and just, loves the Lord with all her heart, for sure.
that's
And
awesome. It's doing it right.
she was actually talking to the TV a few minutes ago. Yeah, she told all her stuffies about Genesis and stuff. With us doing the Book of Genesis, she's
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
first night we were doing it, she was over there reading out uh her little Bible and stuff. To her stuffies. Of the Book of Genesis. I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That is
So
cool.
yeah,
Well, I'll let you back at them. So
all right, man. So yeah. So
that's
yeah,
cool, man.
yep. But
Well,
yeah,
enjoy mow
well,
time tomorrow.
oh yeah. Well, the wife already asked me if I was gonna be home tomorrow. I was like, yeah, as far as I know, I don't have anything planned, and then just but I just gotta do some mowing. She's just like, I just want to make sure you can be home when groceries get here. I'm like, oh yeah,
She had an alternative motive to her question.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, she enjoyed her bold encounter and stuff last week, and
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, she's on fire for going to Quest
Quest.
in September. Yep. So
Well, good.
yeah,
Hopefully, like I said, that helps between the two of you, and
yeah,
that'll give you a
because
great communication
you know how it is. I mean,
thing.
there's so much I'm wanting to tell her, but I can't. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So,
That's
but
true. That's true.
yep. But well, all right, man. Well, we will see you on Sunday.
See you Sunday,
Yep.
man.
All right.
All right, man.
All right,
Take
bye.
care.
All right.
Bye.
Oh, trying to